Illinois Stories is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, Illinois Arts Council Agency, and by the support of viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Illinois Stories. I'm Mark McDonald in Springfield in front of what appears to be just a normal suburban house. But a closer look inside shows that appearances can be deceiving. This is actually a microfarm, and we're about to learn what actually goes on inside. Jessica Hicks, this two-car garage is no longer used as a garage.
No, not at all.
You and your husband were kind of thrown out of work when this whole pandemic came along, and you said to yourselves, well, we're going to make a change. We're going to do something different. And part of that difference was changing your house from a normal suburban home into a garden.
A microfarm.
A microfarm. And here we are standing in your garage, and this is where the process starts, right?
Yeah, this is where we begin. So all of our soil and our seeds are stored in here. So we are actually in two parts of the three-car garage. We've blocked that completely off. It's specifically dedicated to our microgreens and our market garden as well. Mm-hmm. So we start out with our soil. We have ProMix BX that we use here. We use a different ProMix for our garden outdoors for the lettuce starts, but this is where we'll start with our microgreens. We actually store it in a big toter here. It's actually a converted kind of trash can, but we keep our soil in here. It's a little bit easier to scoop out. We can scoop our soil from here into a tray. We'll fill up our trays. These trays have two parts to them. It's a two-tray system, a bottom tray that's solid, and a slotted tray for the top.
Oh, this lets a little moisture through.
It lets the roots grow through and lets the water come up, but we can actually bottom water this way, so we'll lift up the tray and put the water underneath. That way your microgreens don't get too wet. We'll seed the trays after they've been watered in.
What are these seeds here?
This is actually our radish. So these are radish micros.
Color. Yeah.
And this is a lovely blend. This is our spicy mix or a salad mix. We call it a micro mix in the stores. It is broccoli, kale, kohlrabi, arugula, and southern giant mustard.
Wow. You're able to buy it this way?
Yes,
it's already sorted for you.
Do buy it pre-mixed. So these guys are designed to grow at the same pace, so you don't run into microgreens at different heights and times. And then here we have our speckled peas. These are a lovely variety of speckled peas. They'll actually get a lot larger once we soak them. These guys soak for 12 hours.
What do they look like when they sprout? I mean, because it's the sprout that you use, right?
It's a little larger than a sprout. These guys are considered microgreens, and these guys are considered shoots. So these guys will get 3 to 4 inches tall, and these ones will be about 6 inches tall. 5 to 6 inches. They bloom out just a little bit with the leaves. You want to catch them before they grow their true leaves. So you want them to have their cotyledons, the little heart-shaped leaves. And then beyond that, you don't want to let them grow past that. You don't want them to get woody or fibrous.
Now, we're going to see that you turned your dining room and your living room into your grow area.
Yep, we completely
So we're going to see
that.
what you're talking about here, because your microgreens grow for anywhere from just little bitty shavy guys to all the way maybe this tall, and some of your lettuce is even taller than that.
Yeah, the lettuces grow really well too.
So we're going to see the process here. This is interesting because what you've started for us in there and what we're going to see are the stacks of these trays with your peas already started, right? So you can show us how that goes.
Yeah, we can peek at those for sure. And yeah, they grow anywhere from 7 to 10 days. We try to do a 10-day cycle on almost everything we grow. So you'll see the peas that are in there growing on the racks are at day 7. About day 7 right now. So they've got a few more days before we would need to harvest them, but you'll kind of see the stages as we go.
Yeah, and I know it's not good to have light on them, but you can let us peek.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
we can check them out and look at the germination area, and then we'll look at them under the lights.
Okay. Now we're going to come back into this room later because this is where the packaging
Yes.
And there's a lot of work that goes on here besides this.
Yes.
But we're going to come back in here. But really where I would like to go next is to the, what do you call the grow area?
The germination area and then our grow room.
Yeah, the grow room. Because that's where, I mean, people are going to get a look at what a micro farm really looks like.
Yes.
I mean, because, and these, I call them sprouts. They're used for anything from stir fry to salad fixins to
soups. You can put them in smoothies. They go great in smoothies in the morning.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, the broccoli and the kale are really great for
And
smoothies.
do they add a flavor, or is it just you're doing it for
nice,
fiber and
mild
nutrition?
flavor. It's
Yeah?
mostly fiber and nutrition. The microgreens are anywhere from 4 to 40 times more nutrient dense, so that nutrition can really be added to any meal really easily.
Well, let's go take a look.
Absolutely.
Well, Jessica, this used to be the living room, huh?
Yes, this was the living room.
And the dining room. But boy, look at it now. It's full of color and life.
Yes. So we grow our microgreens. This is called the grow area. So this is where all the lighted area is. We've got a lot of varieties growing right now. So this is our arugula, sweet peas, sunflowers. Let's see, we've got broccoli over here, some kale up top, radishes. And this is that spicy mix, the micro mix that we were seeing out there.
Okay, the one we saw where you said they grow at the same level.
Yeah, so they have a nice level canopy, and then you can see a little bit of pops of purple from that purple kohlrabi.
Oh, it's really pretty. It smells good in here, too.
Yes.
Okay, but I want to move this way because I want to see these peas that we had talked about, how you stack them.
Yes.
And this is a good example of. So we saw the pea seeds, right?
And then you'll see that they actually grow quite a bit. They expand. We soak them for 12 hours before we sow the seeds, and you can kind of see that they're starting to get little tails there. They're starting to get going. These are just been in here for a few hours, so they'll get going.
Oh, wow.
Within 3 days, you'll see them actually pushing the tray above it off. We put a 15-pound paver on these guys. It simulates that weight of soil being on them outside, and then that'll help them kind of get a reason to push up. The roots will push down into the soil really well and helps them get rooted. And we can even check out the root systems underneath the...
When you harvest this, will you harvest the whole pea?
We'll harvest right above the soil line. That's one of the key differences between sprouts and microgreens. When you're sprouting, you're eating the seed, the root, and the plant. When you're doing microgreens, we actually harvest above the soil line. So it's considered produce just like a lettuce would be.
Okay, and then is the bottom usable then? Is it usable again?
The bottom is not usable. Technically, some of them will grow back, but nutritionally, your first grow is the best nutrition. Okay. We actually take these guys out to our chickens to take care of. From there, they'll actually pick out
chickens got to eat too,
left.
You know.
Yes.
Sure. Okay.
So they'll take care of that. We'll put it in the compost, and it actually goes out to the market garden after this.
Okay, show us the popcorn.
Yes. Popcorn we grow in complete darkness. So we have this little area set up here to grow our popcorn.
And that's popcorn seed, and those are the sprouts. I don't know if that's the right word or not.
They're
but that's
shoots.
The green
Yep.
shoots. Okay. And that's what you're looking for, is the shoots there.
Yes, okay. So we'll grow those shoots a few more days. They'll get beautiful golden color yellow. We source our seeds from Two Hill Beef up in Clinton for those. So we try to keep local.
At all?
Super duper sweet. They have a corn undertone. It kind of tastes like a kettle corn almost, but they're really super sweet, like a stevia almost.
Amazing. This is a whole new world for me. I've never eaten or shopped for these kinds of things. Okay, so let's work our way down this row here first.
All right, so these are our peas here. So as you can see, you
can actually see the peas
grown
at
up.
the bottom.
Yep, you can see our peas at the bottom. And if you lift the tray, this is how we water them. We'll actually lift up the tray and put water underneath. You can see excellent roots underneath here. And that's why we put that weight on there. So those roots can grow through the soil and they can get their water underneath.
So you water from the bottom,
yes.
You don't water from the top.
Yeah, we'll give them a top water one time just as they come out of germination, but the rest of the time we want to keep the top dry as much as possible and allow that bottom to be the moist.
What's up here?
This is actually lettuce. So we're doing a little bit of an experiment with indoor lettuce. So these are growing pretty well so far. It's mostly for personal use, but we might be bringing these to like a winter market if they do really well. And then
will
actually
that grow again after you snip it off?
Yep, we'll actually it's a cut and come again kind of lettuce, so we could actually harvest and it would regrow. We have some over here that have already been cut a couple times and they are regrowing. They're a little bit smaller. You don't get as high of a yield after the growths, but we're trying to see what we get out of them.
These look like clovers.
Yes, this is arugula, so it's going to have that lovely spicy peppery taste to it, like a big arugula, only more condensed flavor. The flavor and nutrition of microgreens is much more condensed.
Now, if I'm building a salad, how much of that would I use?
The arugula, I would just do a sprinkle. Definitely just a sprinkle on the arugula. Broccoli we use is by the handful. We love the broccoli by the handful. It has a nice mild broccoli taste, but it is a really good flavor.
Can you show me broccoli?
I can. We're going to go over that way for the broccoli.
First, this is an interesting looking crop here.
This right here is actually an experiment on some new fava seeds. So we have our fava beans that we grow. So this is a little bit of an experiment with that guy. We're doing some test trays, see how it goes. Yep.
And this?
This is another pea. This is actually another test as well. So we did not soak the seeds on these, and as you can see, they are not growing as well. But we wanted to see what it would look like if we didn't do a 12-hour soak on the seeds, just to see if it would be a more efficient process.
Error. That's how you learn, right?
Absolutely.
Now these are flowering here.
This is actually overgrown buckwheat. Buckwheat is used commonly as a cover crop by farmers. It's actually completely edible even in this form. The flowers are edible as well. They're beautiful. They've got great stems. We've got some littler ones over here. This is what size they'd normally be for harvesting and packaging. They go in our farmer's salad, and we sell them as individuals as well. They've got almost like a little bit of a sour undertone, really great in salads. They definitely have an excellent flavor, high in levitin, I think it is called. Don't quote me on that one. But we let it overgrow to see how well it would flower, and if we could get it to go to seed. Just for an experiment on our end, but I like how they look.
It looks like it will go to seed, doesn't
it?
Yes.
And they're beautiful. Why not? This right here is our leek. I don't know if you've seen these before.
That's really unusual.
So if you're familiar with leeks in the store, those are a large garlic onion kind of thing. Yes. So we actually grow these about this size. This is about ready to harvest for these.
Taste like onion?
They taste just like them. Yeah. Great flavor. They keep their little seed on top of them. They grow in a U shape, and they'll take their seed with them whenever they grow.
A real nice tender feeling in the mouth.
All right, and then back around here is the broccoli. So this is all broccoli up here.
You sell a lot of broccoli.
We do sell a lot of broccoli.
Now, is this as big as it'll get?
This one here has got a few more days. These guys right here are ready to harvest. So this is actually what we'll be harvesting today. This is at day 10. So it'll have about 3 or 4 inches height, and then we'll pack these guys up for sale.
Will you just cut it right off at the
right at the soil line? Yep. So we'll harvest right at the soil line. You don't want to get any soil or roots with it, just so it's considered produce it that way, and they'll stay really good and clean.
I know you mentioned this, but you were talking about the how much more nutritious.
Yes.
The greens are, the micro greens are.
Especially
the real plant itself, like broccoli, for instance.
Especially with broccoli. Broccoli is up to about 40 times more nutrient dense. So the nutrition of big broccoli all condensed about 40 times more nutrient.
What's your biggest seller?
Probably would be the broccoli, actually. Between the broccoli and our salad mixes, we do a lot of blends. So we've got our farmer salad, and that one's sunflower, sweet peas, and buckwheat. But we do a crunchy salad mix, which is sunflower, sweet pea, and broccoli. And that one's probably our #1 seller.
Wow. Well, this is, now, do you ever have, your kind of slow time of the year, because you have an outdoor garden too, which of course you can't be working on now. But is this the time of year when when business is better because it's wintertime, or when it's a little slower because people don't have their outdoor gardens?
It is a little slower right now on our end. We do sell more microgreens right now to the grocery stores right now. And then come spring, we'll get really super busy with trying to get the garden going and really growing more lettuce and beets and carrots and stuff like that. So we grow what we like to eat out there more so, and then whatever we can bring to the market, we bring to the market from there.
Well, you know, your husband's your partner in this operation. And I want to talk to him too, and I want to go back out in the garage, because he actually kind of retrofitted that garage so it would work for your purposes here, right?
Yeah, we've done a lot of work in there, and he's really been awesome at helping me kind of put everything together and kind of design it for ease of use as much as possible, so we're not having to go gather anything. It's kind of set up perfectly to grab what you need and do what you need to get done.
Okay, good. Hey, Michael.
Hello.
That's quite an operation in there.
Yes.
I mean, it's really something to see. And your wife knows what she's doing, doesn't
she does. She's
great.
great.
You've only had, okay, it was early 2020 that you two decided that you had to do something else to make a living, and you chose this.
Yep.
So in 2 short years, you all have become rather expert on
this you learned a lot
business.
Once you start growing 100, 150 trays a week of microgreens. You get a lot of learning in.
Oh, and she really knows what she's talking about.
She's done a lot of study, and she's great, yes.
You had to retrofit your garage, though, and I find it very interesting. Maybe you can walk us through your needs here and how all this fits together.
Yeah, and we'll just start kind of at the beginning. You know, we have a bathroom on the other side from the house, the downstairs bathroom. So we ran plumbing in from there, so we can do all the cleaning, washing your hands, and all the cleaning, all the bubbling of the lettuce, everything else that we needed plumbing for, and we just retrofitted it all in.
What is this three sink?
This is a 3-compartment sink we got from a place of shutting down, restaurant, whatever, and so we clean all the dishes here, all the trays from after we get done harvesting, we clean all that there, and then we store them over there after
The
cleaning.
tray that we saw the trays you're talking about. Those are those double trays
Yes.
that the seeds go in.
Yep.
Okay. What's behind you?
And behind me is the bubbler that we use for the lettuce. So during the summer and the spring and fall when we're doing lettuce, we bubble. This machine comes in here. It's actually PVC piping, and it's with the bubbler, and it just bubbles it.
Okay,
and
so
cleans the
this
lettuce.
is the lettuce that's growing outside.
That's growing outside.
Okay,
yes.
and you sell a lot of lettuce. You're growing
During
sell
this-
a lot
yeah,
of
oh,
lettuce
yeah.
at the farmers markets.
Farmers markets.
It has to be washed, but the stuff you grow indoors doesn't
Does
have
not.
to be washed.
No, does not,
In
no.
fact, you don't want it to get wet.
No, you don't want it to get wet because it just will wilt so fast because it's so small and delicate.
Yeah. Okay. And then behind you, when you need to dry the lettuce, that's what this is for.
This is what this is for. We retrofitted just a regular folding table and built this. So this just comes off here. So both sides come off, and you put this to the side. And then this is a deep thing, so we can put the lettuce in here and dry it. And we got the fans up here that we just turn on.
Oh, I see.
And
Okay,
it blows down and dries them, and then water,
Yeah.
obviously goes on the ground. But
Can you layer the lettuce, or does it have to be just one?
you
can
want
it
to
be
spread
one
it
layer?
out somewhat, but you can layer it still because it'll get it, and you just come in and tumble it every couple minutes or
And
whatever.
just as long as it's dry, and,
Yeah.
and like you say, it only takes a few minutes, huh?
Yeah, 15 to 20 minutes tops.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and that's nice. You built a frame for your fans, and those
Yep.
are just box fans that blow down.
Just
right?
box fans that blows down. We just built a frame to put them in and tied them all together with a cord over there, and and then storage up top.
Okay, and then you got to keep it cold, then, right?
Yep.
So
Once
is that
that's
what
done
this
in
is for?
packaging with the microgreens or the lettuce, whichever one, and we'll go right into this cooler that we got here, industrial size cooler. Multiple shelf layers here, and we just put all that in here and pack it in there.
There's nothing in there right now.
Nothing
right?
in there right now. Everything's already been delivered this week, but
But Jessica is she's gonna harvest some stuff for us so we can see how.
Yeah.
Then you also kind of. Somebody else's misfortune was your
So,
fortune.
yeah.
With restaurants going out of business the way they did these last 2 years, you're able to get this big cooler over
we
here.
were
Let's take a
able,
look
to
at
get
that.
this big walk-in cooler. It's an 8x10 walk-in cooler that we got, and we're going to retrofit it for our use here. We're just waiting on a system to show up. But right now, it's just got a bunch of storage in it, in there, and then we're going to retrofit it into making it cold. It's pretty cold right now, but. So we're going to take that AC unit and put it in there, cut a bigger hole out of there. This was a beer cooler from the restaurant we bought it from. They had lines going through there, so we're going to use that hole, put the AC unit in there, and then we're going to get a CoolBot system and trick that thing to stay down at 38 degrees. And it'll cool this, and we'll have a lot more room to use.
Well, right now you say it's used for storage.
Yeah.
You guys do a lot of business at the farmers market.
Yes.
So you need tents, and you need coolers, and you need all kinds of
tables
stuff.
and
I'll bet
shelving.
you setting up for those farmers markets is not an easy thing to do.
It's
It probably
not.
takes a whole day in advance,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Oh, well, yeah, you got to get everything prepped and ready and everything else a day in advance, get everything loaded in the vehicle that's non-cooler stuff, and be able to go there. So, that takes an hour or two the day before, then an hour or two in the morning to set up, and hour to break down.
Yeah.
They're work, but they're well worth it, and you get your product out to people that normally you wouldn't see.
Which farmers markets could people find you at?
We do downtown, Wednesday and Saturday.
Downtown Springfield.
Downtown Springfield, yep. And then we do Lincoln on Saturday as well, up at the fairgrounds in Lincoln. And Thursday at the ag building down at the fairgrounds. And Sunday in Rochester.
Which is the best as profit-wise? Which one do you find the most profitable?
The downtown Springfield is probably the busiest one of the ones we do, but Lincoln one is great as well. And then Rochester, we just love going there to support a small community there as well.
And
that
you're
doesn't
very
have
close.
much.
You live very close to
We
Rochester.
live very close.
Yeah.
We're in Springfield, but very close to Rochester. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Jessica, we got kind of lucky because we showed up on a day when you had to harvest some broccoli.
Yes.
So you can show us how it's done. And this is the same method you use to harvest all of the microgreens, right? So this is just what you would normally do with whatever's
this would
ready to be harvested.
Be on
right?
a normal, larger scale.
Yeah. And you'd be doing trays and trays and trays.
Yep.
You're
Anywhere
just gonna
from
do one
100
for
plus
us
trays a
today.
week, yeah.
Okay, well, let's get started and show us how it's
Alright.
done.
So we have our package here. We want to tear that off on the weight for the scale, so we want to make sure that zeroes out. Our broccoli we sell at a 1.5 ounce, so this one's going to be a little bit of a smaller variety, but these guys are super nutrient dense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather them together in a little bunch. I'm going to cut this way, and I'm going to cut across. And this cuts right above the soil line. Knock off any little soil or anything that could be like roots, and then we'll bring it over to our package. We're really close on our weight here.
What is it reading?
We're at 1.2.
Okay, and you want 1.5?
I want 1.5. We want to make sure everybody gets a full value with that, so we usually try to make sure they're at least the 1.5. 1.6 is perfect.
Now, as far as servings goes, what would that do? Would that be 1 serving or 3 servings? Or
About 3 servings, really. You can use as little or as much as you want. You really can't eat too many microgreens. So we will pack these guys up, and I'll label them. Our labels do say wash before use. We don't wash the microgreens beforehand because they are so delicate. We want to make sure they're harvested and packed dry.
Turn that around for us. There we go.
And we say wash before eating. We want to keep them refrigerated. So as soon as we're done with this, we'll pack them up and we'll put them in the refrigerator, keep them nice and cool.
Boy, it smells good.
Yes, a nice broccoli smell.
It does. I can't say it doesn't smell like broccoli, but it smells really fresh. It almost minty. It almost has a. Can you do another one for us?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It smells so good.
It smells so good. We'll do another. Absolutely. So we'll gather it up. Cut across and over. And we try to keep it as efficient as possible. So I never really move my knife off the tray until I am done with the tray, just so we can keep them as efficient as possible with the harvest.
Okay, where we're
1.6.
1.6. Okay, so you get a little
little
extra
bit of
on
bonus.
that one.
We don't mind at all.
Now, if I went to the grocery store to buy that, what would it? I mean, you don't know exactly what they'll charge, but give me a neighborhood of what.
We try to keep these guys anywhere from about a $4 price point. Some of them are up to $4.99 depending on the grocery store. But we do try to keep that $4 and $5 price point for the smaller and our larger salad varieties as well.
And we haven't discussed this, but you all have had really quite success with some grocery stores because you're in like 13 of them right now, right?
Yes.
And these are big stores. These aren't little stores where people go in and drop a buck or two. These are big stores.
We are very, very fortunate here. Locally, we are in our harvest market here in Springfield. We are at Harvest Market in Champaign as well. We're at Hy-Vee here in Springfield.
Wow.
All of the county markets in Springfield except the one downtown, working on that. And then we are in Food Fantasies. Apple Barn does us seasonally, and Robert's Seafood. They also carry a couple of varieties too. They do like the salad mixes really
And some
well.
restaurants as well?
Restaurants as well. We do some local restaurants. They really enjoy things like the popcorn, things with the color and stuff. They garnish really well. Great flavor for those too.
Well, thanks for showing us. This is
Absolutely.
very interesting. Yeah, you got a whole room in there to harvest in the next week.
In the next couple days here, yep. We'll finish off a couple more broccolis for a small delivery for today, and then we'll be letting those guys grow for another round.
Yeah, thanks. Well, Jessica, not only have you transformed the inside of your house to a farm, but your backyard doesn't look like a backyard anymore
No,
either.
This is not a typical suburban backyard.
It was at one time,
Yes.
wasn't it? I mean, you got your privacy fence, and you've got, this would have been just where the kids play and where you barbecue, right? But it's not that anymore.
No, it's a fully functional yard.
You decided we're going full garden, right? Okay. So what we've done here is you've got your chickens, of course, and I imagine, are those egg layers?
Yes,
They are.
they're
So
all
you got
hens.
that?
Yep, so
Okay.
they're laying hens.
And do you ever use them for meat?
Not currently. They are dual purpose, so if we did want to go that route, but currently we're just kind of enjoying the eggs.
Okay. And they also get part of their diet is what you throw out after you harvest, right?
Yes, so they have a really healthy diet of microgreen scraps. So anytime we harvest off a tray, we actually finish off that tray of broccoli. That'll go out to the ladies. The compost is within their area. The first three stages of our compost is in the chicken area. So they'll take care of all that. We'll flip all the compost
And they add
there.
to it too, don't they?
They add
so
to it
a
as
little
well.
fertilizer in there, that's amazing. So, and now we were talking about lettuce. You grow a lot of lettuce for your farmers markets.
We do.
And that's where this happens. Of
Yes.
course, it's January or February now, and of course we're not seeing anything, but this is where that happens.
Yes, so we do have one tunnel that was still partially active, and we actually have a little bit of personal use lettuce left in that. This last hard freeze really got to it pretty good.
Yeah,
This tunnel we broke down not too long ago, and we'll finish putting it away. You can kind of see where the lettuce was in these, and we put holes in the landscape fabric to prevent any weeds and dirt getting on the lettuce as much.
Yeah.
But we had two tunnels, and then further on that way there were more beds here. We'd let the chickens take care of any debris that was left over from the beds, we'll rake that out and create new beds there as well.
And what will you grow? Will that also be lettuce?
That'll also be mostly lettuce. We'll have beets and radish and carrots there as well.
And that's for your use and for your farmers market sales,
Mostly
right?
ours, and then also farmers market as well, anything we can't use ourselves. And we actually have fruit trees behind us as well. We have peaches and pears and apples.
And do the eggs ever get sold at the farmers market?
We bring eggs to the market when we have extra, but almost all of our eggs are actually used by our home delivery. Almost all of our home delivery enjoys the eggs.
Can we walk over that way?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You really have to be careful. This ground's frozen and it's very rutted up.
Yes, the chickens did their job thoroughly, and as soon as it thaws, we'll be able to till this back up and flatten it out and make
actually,
beds.
you want that. They work it for you, don't they?
Oh yeah, they work it all out. They get all of the debris left over from our harvests, and they take care of everything that was here.
And these are called the ladies?
These are the ladies. So we have quite a few varieties of chickens. They actually lay different colored eggs. So we have some blues and greens, different shades of brown. So they all have different colored eggs, and we might have some in the box if we wanted to look. We do a roll-away box so we can collect eggs without having to fight with the chickens.
Okay, well, I tell you what, we're going to look at those eggs at a later date, but certainly nice. Appreciate the art. They're beautiful chickens. They're
Thank
just
you.
gorgeous. The colors
Well
are
fed.
very, very well fed, and they do their job, don't they?
Yes.
Okay. I want to thank Jessica, you and Michael for inviting us in. I know you're really busy because you got a lot of growing to do, and you deliver all this stuff.
Yes, we
yourself.
do.
Yeah. So we'll let you get back to work. Okay.
Perfect. Well, it was great to see you, and definitely enjoy this lovely warm weather.
Yeah. The Itty Bitty Microfarm in Springfield is sort of a new creation, and it came out of a difficult time for these two folks when the pandemic was at its height. But you can see if you've got some ingenuity and you've got some imagination and you want to work hard, you can make a positive out of that. With another Illinois story in Springfield, I'm Mark McDonald. Thanks for watching.
Illinois Stories is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, Illinois Arts Council Agency, and by the support of viewers like you.